Need to be careful. I think their Far Slash just beats like almost everything at round start. I could just be wild. I could just DP round start. Oh. So, after 100 games of Sin Kiske, we have finished at 55 wins to 45 losses. A pretty good record, and putting him in third place, tied with Chip and May, and putting him right behind Nagaryuki and Axel. Sin as a character is really fun, actually. He's been fun since release. I've played all the DLC characters on launch. I usually, boot up training mode, go into arcade mode and do like a quick run through, and then play one set online, and then wait to do the 100 games further down the line. You've probably seen this when you saw the Bridget games or the Testament games, that the first matches that I show, the game ones for those videos, have the characters starting at level 30, whereas with the base roster, they all started at level 1, and that's the reason why, is if you get like even one win, you jump up so many levels. Sin as a character is fun. He's a great mid-range character, insanely good pokes from mid-range. I want to keep emphasizing this mid-range part because it's kind of important as we go through this. Incredibly potent Far Slash, incredibly potent 2S, has some great conversions off of those thanks to his stamina system, which we should talk about a little bit, I guess, right now. Basically, the way that Sin's special moves work is that they all have 2 potential follow-ups. So if you do like Beak Driver, 236H, then you can press H again and he'll do a follow-up afterwards, or you can dash and that'll cost a stamina and it'll do a follow-up. So because of this, there's situations where it's even when you're minus on moves, if you have stamina, people will be hesitant to try and punish it. Like, I think the famous example is when Sin released, everybody was showing, look how badly you can punish Beak Driver, and, it would be punished on block. But that's because he has the stamina system in place, and the follow-ups can be tricky and time to counter hit, or the Gazelle step can come in, the dash, and you can get really good counter hit punishes with his Close Slash. So it's don't take it at face value kind of thing, because there's a lot of intricacies when it comes to using his stamina and what he can do with it. Speaking of the stamina, though, I did find that it's very easy to kind of overspend this resource. It's very easy to just go on a tear, and especially because the way Sin works is you want to get your hits at mid-range, convert them into your good specials, your Elk Hunts, your Beak Drivers, then use the follow-up, then dash in, so you can cover as much screen space as possible to get them to the corner, where his corner pressure is very scary, as very scary high-low off of his Close Slash. You would what I ended up doing was I would either do Close Slash into 6K, the big stomp, or I would do Close Slash into Hoof Stomp, I believe is the name of the special move, but it's the overhead. And just between those two, you're able to open up and run a pretty heavy mix-up game. When I was talking about Sin's mid-range earlier, I wanted to keep emphasizing mid-range because he has a very specific range that he wants to fight in, a very specific range that he's powerful in neutral, and that is that mid-range. So your pokes that I mentioned earlier, Far Slash and your 2S, coupled with a pretty good 6P and high-hitting 5P for catching people out of the air, as well as Jump H and Jump K as air-to-airs, are all really strong pokes for walling people out in particular. When it comes to approach tools, he has very specific things. You're kind of either looking to IAD in, or you're looking to Elk Hunt in to go under far hitting mids and fireballs, things like that. So picking your time to approach can be really specific, but it's all out of this mid-range bubble. And when you're outside of that mid-range, he kind of starts stumbling a little bit. He's not the greatest brawler when you're up close and trying to mash it out. Outside of his DP, which is best in class, really, especially when you have stamina. His close hitting buttons aren't too great. His close slash does a pretty good job as a pressure tool, but it's not a great, like, brawling tool. And then his mashable buttons, his 2P and 5P, not the greatest. His kicks are good again. His 5K is good, but at a bit of a range. It's not so great to be mashed on. Same with his 2K. I also had a lot of problems with 2K 2D just missing on moves that I would normally find it working on. I guess it's a bit of like Ramlethal syndrome, where the 2D just shortchanges a lot, it felt like. That being said, when Sin does get in, and he's able to use his mid-range tools to get like a far slash into Elk or far slash into Beak and cover the distance and get in, one of the best things about Sin is he has, this is an old IFC Yipes adage, but easy access to big damage. And when we say big damage, especially with Sin, it's like some of the easiest 50 to 60% you've ever seen in your life. It's insane the return on damage that Sin can get in some of these scenarios, and that is a very good thing to have, especially considering that, like I had just mentioned earlier, he has to play at specific ranges before getting to this reward. So your reward for getting there is getting your big damage. I think the intimidating part of that is the Kara canceling. I didn't have too much trouble with it, at least going into Tyrant Barrel. Going into RTL is definitely harder and not something I even went for too much during the 100 games. It's definitely an execution check. Gotta be ready for it. You gotta practice for it if you're going to go for it. But his Kara canceling is not too bad. The hardest part of the Kara canceling is not overspending your stamina in the first place. That's what I kept running into. Constantly, I would just be out of stamina trying to do the Tyrant Barrel, then I would go, oh, why didn't that work? Oh, right. You know. But, yeah, Sin is really fun. The one the one big problem I ran into playing Sin is he's kind of perceived as the best character in the game right now, just due to his really strong normals and best-in-class DP. And once again, easy access to big damage is never something you can look away from. And I think a lot of people get turned off by that in the tower. I don't know who had more rage quits or people just not wanting to challenge, or one and dones between Sin and Axel, but it felt pretty bad playing Sin. There were a lot of people one and doning me or rage quitting, and I think that's just something you have to be prepared for. When somebody's perceived as the strongest, a lot of people are just not going to want to fight against them, especially when they're trying to get their rank up. That's just how it goes, I think. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the Sin games. Fun character, very quick to pick up. I highly recommend just giving him a shot, even if you're not too interested, just to see what he does and to see what he struggles at. It's a very important thing. I wanted to get this video out quickly because today is ABBA release, and I'm really excited for ABBA, so I was going to jump ahead and start working on her 100 games. That'll be about it. Let me know what you think about Sin in the comments below, and enjoy the matches, guys. Peace. Average Leo.
Mankind. Duel 1. Let's rock.
Oh, my DP. My DP again. Know a lot of people that have moved on from Gear. I know. A lot of new fighting games and stuff have come out. Exactly. Street Fighter 6, MK1, Tekken 8, yeah. Every time I've played one of those games, though, I've just wanted to go back to Gear. It also kind of helps. Hey guys, Alk here. Just while we're getting into Game 50, I wanted to apologize for the video quality. My capture was kind of messing up all day here, and there wasn't too much I could really do to fix it without making it look even worse. So, just hopefully it doesn't affect it too much. Alright, enjoy the match, guys. Ah, it didn't come out. You indeed cooked? Nice.
Slap. Duel 2. Let's rock.
That stinks? Oh, I see. I didn't have any, I didn't have any stamina, so the cancel didn't happen.
Duel 3. Let's rock.
That wasn't meaty enough? Ah. Setting. There we go. Getting back into it.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Ooh, nice dance here. Shit. I'm gonna keep running at him round start. Okay. Even better. really hope I'm able to block in time. Nope. Hey, Jason. How goes it?
Duel 3. Let's rock.
That's sinking. Double stinky. Oh. No! Darn. It was so close. How am I? I'm doing pretty well. 1-2 to close it off. Decent win rate. 55 to 45 with Sin. Not bad. It was so close.